Yeah, mic's on. All right. I'm tired. Just tired. Not in a fatigue. Not at least not in the that explains why they're so messed up. Not in the traditional like, oh, I'm sleepy tired or body's worn thin tired. I'm tired in this way, same way a lot of people who are probably watching this or bothering to watch this are tired, as in spiritually, I guess. These shoes are kaput. Um, worn out spiritually, metaphorically. Typically, when I'm cleaning up, which hope y'all don't mind, that's what I'm doing right now. Do this like once a week or to a month, depending on the situation, and yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I typically have these rants to myself, just talk to myself out loud while I'm doing it. Helps distract me, but I'm eventually gonna have to learn how to eloquate, okay, say this out loud before a crowd or something like that. Because at the end of the day, the idea of trying to be a leader or become a politician or whatever it is it needs to try to rally the people, it's gonna be me talking to people. So I'll go ahead and have the rant while I'm cleaning my room. Only like, what time is it? Like 47, no, close to an hour and some change after I got off work. Work was relatively simple today. Had to use the restroom a bunch because stomach was backing up as per usual. I'm eventually gonna need to get a doctor's note for that, but fat chance scheduling a specialist. In my circumstance, especially with me losing Medicare Part B. Still gotta call someone for that after this, which they typically are never open when I call them after hours, but maybe today will be different. I'm going to be monitored tomorrow remotely on my customer service job to try to, quote unquote, improve my quality. My manager asked how I felt about it because they know I. No, I wasn't okay with it, but I typed in, I quote, that's fine by me. Because they already know I'm not fine with it, but it's not her fault. I already know they have to do everything in their power to get our quality up to snuff. They want a 95 overall. And it's not like it's based off the customer ratings. Because if it was the customer ratings, I'd be close to damn near 100. I'm not even joking. I can empathize with some of the people. I work in the customer service industry when it comes to medical billing. I've been dealing with this for 10 years. Learned all the ins and outs. I empathize with the customers, but no, it's based off of another person listening to the calls, not the customer itself, rating it based on note taking, inflection, how tired my voice sounds, which I fixed that since I no longer have to do dialysis, so that's not affecting me anymore, but it's whatever. It's typical job stuff, and honestly, it doesn't even weigh on me that much, but when you combine it with the state of the world right now, I've always asked myself, like, what the hell is it? Why is it I always feel like I'm in a funk? Why is it when I play a video game or something like that, it doesn't feel like I could just sink into it anymore? Like, I figured, like, oh, that was just part of being an adult. That is not part of being an adult. You're not supposed to have an existential dread in the back of your head 24/7, 7 days a week. I'm only 30, for God's sake. I have no kids. I'm the oldest of 8 siblings. I help take care of my nephews and nieces every so often, but I have no kids. I live with my damn parents still, until that eventually gets rectified. thing keeping me rooted here for the most part was the kidney thing, but now it's just why on God's green earth would you take on the additional expense right now when you're just not ready? My car isn't in the best shape right now because I had to let my sister use it for her job, and that's how community and families are supposed to work for the most part. You help them, and I have no. Let me make this clear. Not even an ounce of animosity towards my family. This is how people would view someone 30 years old living with their parents. It's how I used to view it, as you being a failure. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be here. I would love the idea of living in my own living space, even if it was a one bedroom. But rent, electricity, food, internet, and people will still straight up look you dead in your fucking face. Let me not curse too much. I'll probably bleep it out or whatever. I gotta get used to editing anyway. But they will look you dead in your face and tell you internet's not a utility. Without internet, I cannot do my job. Without internet, I wouldn't even be able to socialize basically with anyone. That doesn't mean I can't socialize in person. I know how to talk in person, but there's no hangout spots where like I'm a nerd, for God's sake. I play Magic the Gathering. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I talk about geek stuff. Without the internet, I have no one to talk to. There's no one in my age bracket or age group in my family. I'm the oldest of 8. Oh. My little brother just recently got employed at Walmart, of all things. I hate Walmart. I used to work there as well. Thankfully, it seems like they're paying him a decent amount for what the circumstance is. I dared not ask him how much he got per week, but I know they're still undercutting them. It's Walmart. They always undercut, but it at least seems like a decent chunk of change. I hope that's the continued amount. And they don't try to screw them or mess up hours or anything like that. I know how these places get down, but it's just tiresome. Like, I don't know. What is causing that existential dread, I wonder. But then again, I do have a more definitive answer for myself, at least, or at least the conclusion I came to. I'm pretty sure that's why you're even still watching the damn video if you're bothering not to click off. Ugh. It's the lack of security. Sorry, my knees still hurt from deciding to try to get fit for the first time. It's been 2 days now. Well, this will make the second day, but knees still hurt from doing squats. But yeah, as I'm saying, it's the lack of security. What do I mean by security? I mean putting in your 9 to 5, putting in your 8 hours. I want to say minimum, but let's face it. How productivity is, we should be at a 4-day work week by now, but that's a completely different conversation for later down the line. But if you do 8 hours a day, you shouldn't have to be worrying about stuff. I should be able to save up and move out. I should be able to afford my own place, groceries, electricity, all the utilities, and enough to save. Right now, I help contribute for rent for the house, because we're renting right now, my family and me. That's neither here nor there. I have no contempt at all for my parents. They worked their whole lives, and we're in technically better circumstances than we were years ago. But they worked their whole lives in one house that we don't own. The owners live in Georgia. The neighborhood is in Texas. Because I guess the neighborhood owners could just sell it to some place in a different state, and now our landlords can have an HOA that comes around trying to harass in nickel and dime for extra additional fees and fines. Like, for example, for parking in front of your own garage, even though lines of cars do it. But the HOA decided, well, we're going to try to harass you for this $25. And then, so and behold, there you run into that one old head who most likely lives in the neighborhood who didn't tolerate threatened legal action. And 4 days later, please disregard that last notice. So between work stress, the work isn't paying enough. I make 27,000, which more than likely is a lot more than some other people, which that's depressing in of itself. But 27,000 before taxes, that's just like you hear how much rent is across the board, and that shit is depressing. It doesn't make me wonder how people can fall into right wing pipelines and stuff like that when you get so stressed from hearing the reality, from knowing what your reality is, from knowing how much better it could be. My best subject was history, so I know if you could just take a small part of that and bring it here. I mean, policies. But no, people think when you say go back, or they hit you with that "Make America Great Again." Great for who? You know? Oh my god, man. Fucking 1,000 tax cuts for the upper class again. Meanwhile, we down here can't get a freaking wage raise to save our life. I have to listen about how some jackass like Sneeko is saying Allahu Akbar at the freaking FIFA tournament. I hear about Andrew Tate, how he didn't stay in jail, got to just go away, even though he was freaking trying to traffic people or pimp them out, or whatever the hell he was doing. Some bitch made stuff. That's for typical. I don't blame the people that are in MAGA per se. At least not the regular people, like the moderate, the extremists, the ones that are either so far gone you're bordering on a blibbering idiot that is calling for violence, just nothing but hate and violence, vitriol. Like you can be gone. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about people that fall into that line because you're just isolated. Like I'm speaking into the camera now because I just got tired of talking to myself while cleaning up. I usually do say I talk to myself, but you do that for months on end. We don't interact with anyone in person for months on end. I think I'm going on like 7 months now. The only people I ever talked with were my family, but that's my family. I don't have anyone to really confide in, to talk to. That's my age group. And apparently, I don't know what the age brackets is. Apparently, I'm a millennial. 30 sounds about right. The position I'm in is favorable, which by technical standards, yeah, that's true. 27,000 a year with rent as expensive as it is, in what by all means is an entry level position because they eliminated the actual entry level position. I came in as a payment center representative. That got eliminated by like about I want to say 4 months ago. So I wasn't even in that position for 2 years. That by the position I was in got cut away in less than 2 years. I was coming up on 3 years in about a month. That I try not to think about that because that is just harrowing, man. And I'm getting monitored tomorrow because I'm not up to snuff. I'm not meeting quality. I'm breaking 85, the B plus for the most part, but they want 95. They want 95. I think I'm at 87 right now. Production is up to snuff. I've been the type that if you're not working, you're not doing enough, but I've had to break myself out of that mentality because I see the writing on the wall. I see where society is heading in the sense that I'm more than likely going to get laid off before things make a turnaround. We are in the middle of a recession. It doesn't matter if they announce it or not. I know what the hell a recession looks like. No one can afford a house at all. People can barely afford a car. Every time I see anything judging new standard cars, they keep making them, trying to sell them out. And hold on. My leg. It's hurt. There we go. Stupid thing was distracting me. Oh no, anymore, man. The world is just turning into something that feels so beyond what most people can deal with. At least the people that are gonna have to roll with it, make it function. I keep hearing, "Oh, AI is gonna replace you. AI is replacing you now. AI is gonna." No, it's not. As long as I've lived and breathed, billionaires have never, ever, ever, ever made actual sound investment on the function of their business. Ever. They'll invest in extra, like more. They understand more. That's all they understand. They'll get more property to add to their hoard, but they don't invest in the actual business itself unless it's brand spanking new. What you got is what you got. They'll send whatever is needed for it to run. Like, oh, we're gonna make robots and stuff that can run a production line in it. If they were going to do that, they actually would have done it by now. They 100% would have done it now. They don't give a damn about perception. They never gave a damn about perception. They maybe like 10, 15 years ago they cared. They don't care. So I'm not worried about AI. I don't care that Chat GPT or Meta, which is failing miserably, or any of these other AI models are making headway. It doesn't matter. The problem is the AI bubble that as we play right now is just it's a lie. The problem we're having right now is corporations are greedy as all the be damned, and instead of the government doing what its only purpose is to do, which is regulate, it doesn't do that. Gives them a free pass, takes money willingly as a bribe. We call it lobbying. Citizens United, a front like oh, a corporation should have the same rights and privileges as a single U.S. citizen. Bro, I can't force a corporation to meet me in person for trying to screw me over, for stealing my wages. I can't bring a corporation to court properly. The corporation has 1,000 lawyers at its disposal. Like what? The corporation doesn't have a definitive name. It has a face. It can have a face piece. Jeff Bezos isn't the only person at Amazon that's the problem. What about all the stock holders and stuff like that? When that idiot CEO for United Healthcare got freaking erased, what Actually, why am I saying? I know I hate that as well. I hate that every form of media is owned by a billionaire. That's the core issue. Oh, you're not allowed to say killed, rape, pedophile, slaughter, violence. He was murdered. Someone took a gun, shot him several times, and it's allegedly Luigi Mangione. The reason I use the word allegedly, which I would have just said if it was him, it was definitely him. We didn't see his face. Like he didn't bang bang bang. He hit. We didn't see a face. Otherwise, they would have 100% been showing that to more or less say, yeah, he did. Put him, lock him up, and they're not gonna put him on trial before a jury. As messed up as I've been dealing with this kidney situation for well over a decade. Going hell, we're probably going on to. No, I'm only 30, so it's only been 15, 16 years now. God, I was in high school, mid high school when I first flared up. Yeah. Ugh. But this is a terrible showing as a thing with no script or anything. It's just me rambling. But I've already finished cleaning and straightening up the room for the most part. So, but anyway, as I was saying, the CEO for United Healthcare got murdered, deservedly. You're not gonna, you can't convince me otherwise that it wasn't deserved. Like, oh, it's just the business of killing people, the business of denying a necessity. Medical care, shelter, and food are like three pillars that you need. You can't call yourself a functioning society if one of those things is just missing. As in, if you need it, you have no way to get to it easily. I'm part of one of the industries that I gotta tell people why their bill is the way it is, why insurance denied them, why they're getting a denial letter even though their insurance is sending it to the doctor. So that way they can tell, yeah, it's medically necessary. Had a whole lot of those in the past month because apparently those letters are just getting sent out to patients regularly now. You used to never get those kind of calls. Maybe once in a blue moon because the patient opted in to get to every single document and they maybe were a bit of a worry word. No, now it's just every regular patient is just getting that. So now I gotta explain how no, your account's still processing, ma'am. It's amazing how as time goes forward, things just kind of stay the same. It's kind of quaint. People are talking about the Gen Z stare, when in reality that's just that boils down to I'm doing my job and you're making it needlessly difficult. People like the only thing that's happening is what their stare is getting recorded. Millennials had that stare as well. Gen X had that stare. That stare has always existed. Like why are you making this difficult or why are you yelling at me? Why are you getting upset with me? I saw one person say, "Oh, you're antisocial." No, it's just that particular generation being the youngest in the most vulnerable position. Like billionaires love putting the youngest in. They, yeah, they love putting the youngest in the most vulnerable position. That's a pedophile joke, by the way. I consider most of them pedophiles. I need to make that abundantly clear. Um, yeah, when you decide to be a dick, that person doesn't have the experience or know how to diffuse the situation professionally yet. Put me in that situation, I'll I'll actually have to resist cracking a small little smirk or smile at you, knowing that if you attempt to swing on me, I mean we can get physical, but like I'm terribly sorry, sir. We do not offer refunds. I'm terribly sorry. I'm I don't know what I can do for you this day, but I can give you the phone number to our HR or whatever if you need to file a complaint. Or they don't have those skills yet. That's it. Combine that with the fact that the job is not paying them enough to actually tolerate that bullshit. They're in a position where 100% they can quit that and just get another bullshit job. Or A, no, B, in this case, the odds that they get fired is very minimal. As long as they don't curse you out or cause too much of a ruckus, that stare is not worth a termination. That's barely worth it talking to. They're fucked. Like go about the rest of your day, bro. Stop falling for that billionaire mind virus, man. That's what I call it. When you start doing shit that billionaires do, like, oh, expecting more of people that are in a more disadvantageous position than you, bro. Like they're working. You're not working right now. They're shopping. You're trying to get food. You're making this complicated. What the fuck are you doing? Get your food. Leave. Leave them be. I guess I'll count this as the daily recording for July the 15th. Or no, it's a short, so I'll just go ahead and record that later anyway on my phone like I usually do. Have some consistency. I don't know what the recourse is for society for workers other than violence. I don't see a path forward. I see people clamoring for Mamdani, and yeah, Mamdani. All the issue is all Mamdani did was prove that most of our politicians are corrupt jackoffs that don't do their job. He got in there. He after 100 days, he did what someone in administration is supposed to do. He administrated. He did his job. It wasn't anything too impressive. It's impressive by metric of comparing it to everyone else because everyone else isn't doing their job. The leaders aren't leading. They're willingly selling you out hand over fist. Is what they're doing. Like people don't grasp that this has been happening for generations. Gotham City is based off of Chicago, for God's sake. Man, the concept of Gotham was conceived before the 50s, for God's sake, man. Detective Comics. Chicago's blue. Chicago's a city. Chicago's a place with population. It didn't occur to you that it's so corrupt that ICE managed to infiltrate that city and no pushback whatsoever. It didn't. They got into Chicago, but notice they didn't get into New York. Notice there's no incidents happening in New York. And I keep rubbing my hand and everything because the soreness on the front of my legs from the workout about 2 days ago. It was not 2 days ago. This marks day two. So not yesterday, the day before yesterday when I worked out with the damn ankle weights and doing squats for the first time, sore. I decided to get fit. I'll most likely feel better tomorrow since I know I say I don't let it weigh on me, but the fact that I'm gonna have to get monitored while doing my own job tomorrow. That so we can see how we can raise your grade level on the calls, even though they're the ones that grade it. They're the ones that grade it. It's not based off of customer complaints. If it was based off customer complaints, I'd have 100, as I've said. It makes me nervous because all it sounds like is that a case is being built to lay me off, or looking for an excuse to trim the fat, so to speak. That's all billionaires know how to do. They don't know how to create value. They don't know. There's no longer an investment in companies or franchises or us as a people anymore. Just how they can get more out of us while just squeezing blood from a damn stone, man. I hope the mic is at least close enough that it can pick up my voice. It looks like it's picking it up, but I'll figure it out in a second when I'm not even sure if I'm about to edit this. I'm tired. God, I'm tired, man. And the best I can do is like just keep moving forward. Gonna go ahead and try a stream after this. I made a commitment to, well, first do the daily recording on the phone like I usually do, stream for a bit to try to get my mind off of it, and then I'll eat and go to bed and get tomorrow over with. I'm sure it'll be fine. I gotta keep telling myself that. I gotta keep telling myself it'll be fine. I have to. It's like it's straight up the only way I can keep going forward, man. Medicare Part B is gone, so I can't go get labs. Can't go back to the transplant team to make sure that I don't need an update on my medication. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield through my job, but there's like a 3K deductible that I haven't met yet, so I know better than anyone. I always told myself once I got out the dialysis that would be it. I can hit the ground running and I can make some headway in less than a month. No, not less than a month. Less than 2 months. There we go. Less than 2 months. The position I previously had was eliminated. I'm in customer service now instead of payment center, which is a lot more simple, but whatever. You would think, oh, more money. It's barely more money. It's barely. I'm barely breaching $100 more per paycheck. And you would think, oh, that's still $100. No, not for the stress I'm going through. Not for the fact that now I'm getting chewed out for quality control, which it feels like I have so little actual control of that. I don't even talk with the person that rates my calls. It's hard not to let it stress you out. And that's the only reason I'm trying to strive to be a leader, try to be a politician, try to make a change, because I'm going through this. I'm stressing out. I'm losing my damn mind. I can only imagine how someone who's in my brother's position, who doesn't have parents. I keep hearing the horror stories of how they get kicked out at 18. They gotta distance themselves from family. I can't imagine doing this without family. To be fair, I can't imagine moving myself to Texas under any circumstance, if not for my mother, who lived here prior, but that's neither here nor there. My parents did right by me in raising me. And they were not the horror stories I've heard some parents to be. This country hates family. Hates it. Just like children, it perverts the image of it. Like, it flaunts it as if this is what you want. This is what you want out of life. You want the family, the wife, the husband, the freaking son and daughter, and a middle child and baby on the way, or some nonsense like that. It makes it seem like you want that. It makes sure you can never, ever, ever sustain that. Never. I'm fine not owning a house. Perfectly fine with that. I didn't want a house. I was perfectly content on permanent apartment life. I owned a car before. It was I think, 2015 or 16 Nissan Altima. My brother totaled it like an idiot. I already paid it off. So that was annoying and a bummer. And paying off a 2011 Honda Civic. It has a flat tire and some check engine lights on, but since it's 2011 and not some of these newer models that I keep seeing videos of how they're garbage, there's just more and more stuff shoved in them, so they can't be properly worked on. I fear ever getting a new car. I play Magic the Gathering, which is getting infected by corporate greed in real time. I just had to play against Thor in Magic the Gathering. I don't mind that being there. That was always a possibility. It was usually in the Universes Beyond, in Commander or something like that. Commander was always a whatever goes, but now it's in Standard. It's in competitive, and I gotta deal with that. Apparently, Legacy is dealing with the Fantastic car, and that's just another byproduct of corporate greed. And corporate greed takes that. Corporate greed, it just is just taking everything from us. Once again, I don't see a clear path out of this. A light at the end of the tunnel that does not involve violence. Without violence, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no end to that tunnel. It just gets worse and worse. The light will wind up being orange and red flames as they take us into destroying this country, and hell, not just this country, this world. This world is fucking cooked if we don't deal with them. And this is not a call to violence. Without organization, without people backing you, it is not worth the trouble. Unless you get really lucky. I'm not backpedaling from no words. I will leave these damn things on the internet for eternity. I'm getting really sick and tired of everyone, including these so-called men, these red-pilled men, Joe Rogan and whoever, shying away like little bitches from it. Coddling up to these cowards, these spineless, parasitic cowards. Like, nah. Whoever took that healthcare CEO, as far as I'm concerned, that's self-defense. All I know is all you did was take out a mouthpiece. Just like the person that took out Charlie Kirk, you took out a mouthpiece. A symptom of the greater disease. In fact, in society, Christ, I sound like a fucking lunatic. At least that's how they're gonna paint me. But it's whatever. We've been painting people that we're having a moment poorly for ages, and I'm not gonna shy away from outlawing this. You got me fucked up. I'm so sick and tired of saying this, and I never bother putting it on the internet. I need, like, if there's anyone that can relate, I need you to understand you are not alone by any stretch of the imagination. Do not break. Don't kill yourself. Don't decide to go have a psychotic break and kill people at random. Definitely don't just kill a billionaire randomly without knowing their attachments to this world or whatever. Don't go crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let them win, because that's another win for them. Killing a CEO or Charlie Kirk was just another way they won, because hell, their shielding is working. They get to put these people in the front, pay them some money, like a house nigga, and they get to take the fall. They get to be the metaphorical shield that jumps in front of them, even without them even knowing it. What the hell are you doing? Knowing colleges are getting shot up, having basically a Second Amendment rally, like, oh yeah, Second Amendment, some deaths are totally worth it. Shot him through the neck while he was saying a dog whistle. A dog whistle was his last words. If you're wondering what I mean, who the hell thinks of gang violence as a mass shooting event? No one considers gang violence mass shooting. Those were his last words, including or not including gang violence. Done. You're done. Done. You picked the wrong group to pander to. Not even pander to. You more or less were just patronizing them. Like, Jesus. People that are getting screwed over in real time. They're trying to get college degrees to become better members of society. We ironically need those people. Like, I don't know how many far left, not far left, far right extremists. Which way will I be pointing? Yeah, this is the far right. I point, yeah, because it's reflect. Sorry, new to the whole recording thing, but yeah, and they'll say it's the far left that's doing it, as if a far leftist has ever in their fucking life ever committed violence, unless the guy who allegedly shot the healthcare comes out as I'm a far left. If it is Luigi Mangione, he sure as hell wasn't a far leftist online. That's for damn sure. He just identified the root cause of the problem, and that there was a problem that needed to be course corrected, that needed some form of pushback. That was self-defense. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing more. I don't need much to see how he was radicalized. You know how fucking just depressing it is hearing customers calling about a bill they're just petrified of medical debt. And you gotta explain to them that the insurance it's a deductible amount that has to be paid, or your stuff didn't actually denied. Oh, it looks like we didn't build a secondary insurance. Oh, it looks like this is what you actually owe. Oh, don't worry, we don't report to we don't report to the credit bureau immediately. You can put this on him. Back to back to back to back to back. Luigi Mangione was fostered into that system. He ran a nursing home. Oh my God, he probably saw the worst of it, and he was like me, low key. Only difference is he had spinal problems, so his stuff was eternal pain. Mine was eternal, like just shackled to a machine. At the halfway point, I was still able to go to school. I just had to take a bunch of pills, which had adverse effects. But spine issues, oh, I be hearing what happens with back pain. I can only imagine how just miserable he was. And he was down the on the right side of it, but there, like reality shows, there's only so much delusion and lying you can take before reality kind of just comes a knocking and you have to accept it. If it was Luigi, he all he did was accept reality and decide to take action. Self defense, as far as I'm concerned. It's tired. It's tired, man. I'm not trying to aspire to be a big YouTuber or anything like that. Anyway, and Lord knows I'm not big enough for this to ruin any family members' lives. I'm not even on social media like that. I can't even be bothered to upload these to Twitter. Never calling it the other one. Elon is just such a fucking nuisance, bro. Ugh. Anyway, I've ranted long enough. A lot of dead air, which apparently that's also something that they're worried about now. All of a sudden, at my job, take it a day at a time. Any and all comments would be appreciated, even if you're a hateful asshole that only wants to defend any of the people I mentioned here or say I'm not being empathetic or whatever. Listen, bro, I'm empathetic towards regular people, people with souls, people that actually care about one another and care about other human beings. I'm not about to waste my civility on savages that have no problem screwing other people over for profit. You'll never catch it from me. I'm not going to defend a pedophile. I'm not going to defend a murderer. I'm not going to defend someone that is an indirect murderer by simply signing the dotted line that says, "Yup, no medical care for you. Denied." Hell, he fucking coward. Like, the guy couldn't even be bothered to deny it himself. United Healthcare is going through a lawsuit right now, a class action one with apparently the AI that they had, the AI that's supposedly going to replace us, was getting it wrong 90% of the time. Well, there's a response. That's what happens when you implement AI. The human element comes and gets you, as what would be the case if AI really did manage to replace them. Like, oh, we're gonna go to bunkers. You're gonna go to a bunker that I don't know if you think you're gonna have like an oxygen tanks, or if you think someone's not gonna be able to understand how a bunker functions, as if you I don't know. I don't know how good you think that bunker's built, or if you have the full-on trust that people that are gonna fly you there or take you there. But I don't see people letting you take us into full-on Armageddon apocalypse and the fucking a rogue AI mode where you blow up the whole planet or some BS like that. Pretty sure there's gonna be some form of revolution. There has to be, unfortunately, for any change at this point. Anyway, it's already gone 7:30, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm leaving all the dead air and stuff in there right now. I'm too tired to bother editing. I'll just upload the video. I don't know what I'm even gonna bother titling it. Once again, any and all comments will be appreciated. I'll try to go ahead and respond to some of them. But just understand, if you're going through the same problems, working full time, maybe you live with your parents, maybe you're struggling, you're outside your car right now, or you just don't know what you're doing right now. Whether you're 30 or younger or older, trust me, you are not alone. It is hard out there. You're not losing your mind. If you have the violence in the back of your head, trust me, I understand you. It's called being civilized. It's a own little burden where you don't decide to go through with it, but you definitely have the thought at the back of your head where you cannot bring yourself to sympathize with a scumbag, essentially, who decides to write people off for profit, kill them essentially, or what other guy died recently? Oh, Seagate, that idiot that went to the bottom of the ocean. The only person I feel bad for was that. That kid. I think he was a teenager or a young adult where his dad fucking pressured him. He wanted to make his dad proud. Oh my god. Same situation happened with my dad. Only difference is it was going on a roller coaster, and I cried like a bitch on it. All I did was cry, felt a little bit of shame. No one on the roller coaster laughed at me. I was like, I think I was in late middle school or whatever. I just could not wrap my head around going on a loop-de-loop. But it's a roller coaster that was running all throughout the day. There's no problems with it. The odds of us dying is minimal. That idiot dragged their son to the bottom of the ocean and just crushed. The only upside there is that it was quick. Every other asshole on that ship rest in piss, but oh god, I feel bad for that kid, man. Fucking Christ. I saw some people trying to make comments about how that person probably, at least that's not another highborn. That I like to believe that people, considering a lot of Elon Musk's kids and quite a bit of Trump's extended family don't fuck with him, I like to think that people typically aren't bad apples. You have to be indoctrinated into that fucked up mentality. So no, considering a lot of Elon Musk's own kids don't fuck with him, yeah, nah. I feel bad for that kid. I'm not writing you. I'm not in that retrospect of, oh, well, you were gonna be a bad person. No, there was a chance for him not to be a bad person. And they, as far as I'm concerned, they were not a bad person. They didn't deserve that shit. Everyone else on that ship, especially the dad and that CEO, hope they're sharing a fucking cell together in hell. Fuck that. Oh my god. That fucking broke my heart. That's the only thing that garnered empathy. A fucking kid trying to impress their dad. Oh my lord. Ugh. That's supposed to peer pressure the kid onto a roller coaster, or make them feel confidence in their first time driving like mine did. Not fucking peer pressure them onto a ship. Let's go on a trip to the Titanic. Oh my god. Ugh. But yeah, that whoever the hell that was, Seagate, whoever, who ignored all the ignored regulation, you got crushed instantly. If our government actually regulated, we wouldn't be in this mess. If our government did its job, we wouldn't be in this mess. I aim to get into the business, do my job, and by God, you're gonna get this side of me, only in a much less disheveled looking professional matter. I'll be in a suit and whatever the hell else the decorum is to wear at the job, as business casual as possible. I hate having to wear a suit. It looks good, yeah, but the fuck is the point of looking good if you're not helping the people, man? Alright, well, I ranted it for another 4 minutes. I'm done for right now. I already finished cleaning a while ago. If you got to the end of this, thanks for listening. Maybe I'll try to put timestamps, or I think there's an option to let people try to put timestamps in there. You can go ahead and try that, whatever. Thanks for listening, if you did. And remember, you're not alone. Alright.